Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Atorius here, and I am going to do a stream real quick over some custom spawns that I have placed in. So let's take a look at them. So the first spawn that we have here, we have 8 actually. We have a beach, a ruin guardian, a raptor pack, a town spawn, redwoods, plains, allosaurus, and flyers. So each one of these spawns is customly done. They all have their own different spawn count, so I may have done things such as adjusting how many spawn, to adjusting probability, to removing some stuff and adding in others. So let's get in here and look at them. So this first one we're going to look at here is the beach spawn. So I'm actually going to I'm going to take all of these. I'm going to increase it just so you guys get a good variation. So here in this beach spawn, what I've done is I've removed the Bronto and the Trike and have increased the Dillo spawn to 10, increased the Turtle spawn, and then increase the Parasaur spawn, which, there they are, over there. Of course, the Oviraptor and the Lystro and stuff like that will still be there. This is just more to kind of make it a little bit more diverse when it comes to the edge, so that you don't have to worry about messing with stuff such as Trikes and Brontos and all that stuff on the beach that I really feel like shouldn't be there. So let's look at the next area. Let's turn that spawn off. Now this is the Ruin Guardian. So what the Ruin's Guardian is, it is a Pterodon spawn. But what the Pterodon spawn does, instead of being passive and running away from you when you shoot at them, these guys are actually aggressive. So they'll attack you. Now, just because they're aggressive does not mean that they're not tameable. You can actually knock these guys out and tame them. So these will actually be a replacement for the bats that are generally seen in the cave spawns. Any ruins and stuff like that, generally I put a cave spawn on it to make it more difficult. But what I'm going to do is take the bats out and put these guys in, which is a little bit more lore friendly when the whole Dinotopia feel about pterodons and stuff like that, protecting entrances to the world beneath and protecting, you know, the ruins. So that was the Ruin Guardians. Alright, now let's look at the Raptor Pack. Now what the Raptor Pack is it's 2 separate packs with the possibility of an alpha. Now this alpha's probability of spawning is 10%. So just because it's in there now, and it may also be the fact that we've got the count up as high as we do. Yeah, it's probably because we have the count up so high that he's spawning pretty much every time. There's one without him. So it is possible that he can be in there, but it's also possible that he cannot. Hello, Lily. So that's the Raptor spawn, and now this spawn here will actually be used in conjunction with one we're going to watch a little bit later on, with the plains. It's just to kind of give it more of a pack mentality. Instead of just seeing 1 or 2 raptors out by themselves, you're going to see like 8 Now they won't be all together in a group because that would be pretty tough. Like I said, there are 2 groups, generally 3 and 5, but with them in conjunction with the other spawns, it should thin them out enough, and it should push the herds a little bit to make it seem a little bit more realistic. Let's look at the town spawn. Now the town spawn, the reason why I've made a town spawn is it's nothing in particular that would make you go ooh ah, and you can find each one of these in another spawn somewhere else. So, but this is kind of a one-stop shop kind of thing. Would get you more interested in coming into the villages and the towns and stuff like that. So let's see what's in this town spawn. We have first the Archaeopteryx. I'm probably butchering that. I'm sure you guys will tell me that I'm butchering it. So you'll have the Archaeopteryx. We also have way over here. We have the Jerboa, and then monkeys and Lystros are around here somewhere. They generally are. They're also in there. So most of the ones that you can put on your shoulder, as we get more and more dinosaurs that will go on your shoulder, we will be adding them in. Now the reason why I haven't put the vultures in to this group is because I have a different plan for them. So they will actually go somewhere else. So that's the town spawn. This one, I believe, is the Redwoods. So the Redwoods spawn, all I did really was just make some basic changes to it. One of the changes I made... oh, let's turn it on. So one of the changes I made was I removed the Gallimimus. Oh, that's a wonderful time to... I'm gonna probably die. Let's try this again. Get over here on this edge where I can't get killed. So I have removed the Gallimimus, and the reason why I removed the Gallimimus in the Redwoods is I feel like a Gallimimus that's designed for running should not be in a very small area. I feel like, you know, with big trees and stuff like that, you can't run flat. You know, you can't run flat out when you got trees and you're constantly changing. So that's why I've removed them. I've also removed the Dimorphodons just because I really don't need them in here. It's another thing that's just not really making a lot of sense. But what I have added is one of these guys right here. I've added the Calicotherum, and the reason why I've added the Calicotherum was it fights both the Carnos and the Terror Birds. So they feel like they fit a little bit more here, especially with the Pacers. Kind of got that similar ability of looks. There we go. So it makes sense for them to be here. Now, I've added the Carno. I've added in addition to the Carno spawn, I have put in for an Alpha Carno. Now, the probability of an Alpha Carno spawning is less than 10%, but it can happen. So that's pretty much it with this area here. Now, I apologize. I have no control right now over the snails, the Pachyrhinoceros, or the other new dinosaurs that just came in because they have not been released yet into the dev kit. There was a patch that they put out that we can upload we can force upload our kits, but every time I do that, it crashes. So I had to roll back. That's why we haven't done that this far. So let's look at this one. This is the big one here for me. It's the plane spawn, and the reason why it's set so high at 100 and 125 is to just give you an idea of how big the amount of dinosaurs in this area is, and it kind of gives you that big plains area, you know, should be filled with dinosaurs that are eating on the vegetation. That's where all the good stuff is. You know, they don't have to worry about the trees and stuff like that. So when you have these big open plains, this is where they belong. Now, around the outsides of these plains will be them foresty edges, and that's where you're going to have your raptor packs and your carnos and stuff like that. Let's enable this one. Disable this one if I haven't already. Probably not. I did not. Let's disable that one. Okay. So what I've done is I've kind of just tripled really everything that was kind of in this one. I added a few things. I've added the Gallimimus. I added also the Diplo to this one as well. I don't see any Brontos spawning. Brontos will spawn in a group. Like I said, you know, huge packs of Parasaurs, 3 or 4 Anklos together. What you're not going to see with this area is flyers. You know, you're not going to have any flyers. Plenty of copies, Carnos, stuff like that. Also the possibility of an Alpha Carnos spawning. The probability is once again less than 10. It just kind of gives it more of a herd feeling. You know, big open areas. You know, a group of like 5 Packies and you know, Dillos and stuff like that. And it looks like a little bit like Chaos right now, but once the Trikes and everything else gets involved with them Diplos, kind of tends to thin out the herd a little bit. So there's that. Now there will be other variations I'll do of this that'll include T-Rex and stuff like that. So it won't just be Carnos. You know, maybe I'll add a Raptor pack to certain ones and stuff like that. So it'll definitely diversify itself as we progress through it. This is the Aloe spawn. So what I've done is I've removed the Aloe from all of the other spawns. Let's turn it on. And all I've done is just set it up that it just spawns 1 pack of Aloes. And that way I can kind of pinpoint where the Aloes themselves spawn. And like I said, excuse me, and they could then correlate with a plane spawn. And of course you give them 3 so they get the pack mentality. And last but certainly not least is my personal favorite, the Flyer spawn. Now what the Flyer spawn has done is I have removed, from all these other spawns, I have removed all the Pterodons, the Tepiharas, any of the Flyers, Dimorphodons, stuff like that. Minus, of course, the Ruin ones. So this one is set up to be all of the Flyers, minus like Pelagornis and stuff like that. We're doing region specifically. This spawn is actually really helpful when it comes to using them for Canyon City and stuff like that. Any high peak areas, I can put these spawns up there, and they fit a little bit better. So what we've got the set to is, you know, about 5 Dimorphodons, and then 10 Pterodons, and then 1 Tapihara. So the count is literally 5 to 10 to 1. So the Tapiharas will still be pretty rare, as they should be, but yeah, I feel, like I said, it looks a lot better. Now granted, you have a huge spawn box right here. On the map, there'll be a very much smaller spawn box, so they'll spawn a little bit closer together. It'll look a lot nicer. So those are all of the custom spawns I have for you guys to look at right now. If you have any ideas for custom spawns, please get a hold of me either on here or on you know, in Discord and stuff like that, and just shoot me some ideas. I have done a few other ones that I haven't really pushed out yet to show you guys. One of them is a Trilobite spawn. That's the only thing it spawns is Trilobites, so I can specifically put out the areas where they go, and that will prevent having the issue of them spawning in the water, them not spawning in the water, stuff like that. Anything else you guys can think of, please get a hold of me, let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Always don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and I think that pretty much covers it for me on here. Thanks for watching the stream, and I look to be sending out more content here in the near future. Have a good one.